people. His life expectancy is just 37.
This is a country where everyone is waiting at the banks to get money, only to find it's lost much of its value, waiting for petrol and having to pay for it with hard-to-get foreign currency, waiting for food, small quantities at crazy prices. The average wage is £1 a day, $2 US, just enough to buy a loaf of bread and a newspaper. On top of all this, there's an AIDS crisis. Zimbabwe has the highest number of AIDS orphans. But mostly, there's a lack of good government, and people are waiting to see what happens to Robert Mugabe. His government tries to keep foreign journalists from seeing these things. The BBC is banned from coming here, and since a lot of people watch the BBC by satellite in Zimbabwe, we had to work undercover. The economy here is right back to its level in 1947. There have been strong allegations that the crash has been deliberately engineered.
Why? Because when Robert Mugabe's power was challenged, he took back savagely, so savagely, that the economy almost collapsed. That way he could control people better, and they're almost entirely dependent on the state for their very lives. It's got absolutely nothing to do with black versus white. It's all about Robert Mugabe's efforts to stay in power.
Robert Mugabe has often shown how he hits back at dissent. This was the aftermath of a rally by the large but so far ineffectual opposition group, the NDC. Despite danger to him, a leading NDC man told me how he was tortured a few months ago.
You get put in a position which is very uncompromising, where I could possibly, if I could demonstrate it.
This really means that your whole weight is annoying and excruciating.
Robert Mugabe is a brilliant tactician, but his time is running out. At the next election, he won't be able to pack parliament with his allies. The opposition to him within the ruling party, ZANU-PF, has managed to change the constitution. And now we've been able to confirm that a leading ZANU-PF figure is planning to stand against the president in the election scheduled for March. It could shake the entire political system here.
We can have mountains of money.
This is Simba Makoni, briefly finance minister after the economy collapsed. He thinks the president is far too dictatorial. But a leading academic here, in a courageous interview with us, said Robert Mugabe wouldn't give up power easily.
He is desperate. He has committed so many sins in the 27, almost 28 years since the independence. He sees himself heading for The Hague, to be tried for crimes against humanity. Nothing frightens him more than that.
We're driving through Mbare, a slum area strongly pro-opposition. This is a place where a couple of years ago, in a cold winter, the bulldozers moved in and wrecked everybody's houses. What you can see here is that people have moved back to some extent and they've rebuilt some of the places. In other words, Robert Mugabe can't destroy the opposition can't overthrow him. So there won't be a popular revolution here, but it's not impossible. There could be an inside job, and the knives are already being sharpened. John Simpson, BBC News, Harare.